How is it going then, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome to another video here on our channel. I'm the FIFA analyst and we have got another FIFA 20 coaching session for you today. We are taking a look at a Gold 3 player sitting in Division 5. We do have a Division Rivals game to go through for you. You have asked me to discuss how you can take the right tactics based on an opponent formation. Now, obviously, the opponent that we've got here seems like he's doing the objectives in La Liga. So the team rise, it's not the most strongest. By the looks of it, he will be playing that flat 4-4-2. So then this just comes down to yourself. You can either match him up and play a 4-4-2 here. A 4-2-3-1 works against it as well. 4-4-2 is pretty solid as a whole because it gives you a whole balance of everything. It's got obviously the 4 players in the midfield, but with your wingers that can get in behind. And it's also got 2 strikers that gives them a bit more of that lethal attack because they can then play 1-2s quite easily, which obviously when you're around the Gold 3 level for yourself, defending 1-2s can be quite difficult in itself. So it is one of them things to bear in mind. Now, when it comes to yourself, what can you do to set up to make sure you can play as best as you can against this team? I would just look at playing the formations that you're comfortable, whether that is 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. There's not really anything here if you take that's too obscure that won't do well. A 4-2-2 will work as well. If you want to take something like a 3-4-1-2, a 5 at the back, that's when it starts to, make it a little bit more difficult. It is all dependent though. So just sticking with a normal 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. For this sort of team that you're coming up against, you've always got to take a look at the opponent's team and take it into account. I'd be suggesting to try and dominate this game. You've got a much better team than the opponent. Look at the defenders. Centre-back, right-back, left-back, not fantastic. Keepers, nothing special either. Midfield, the 2 centre-mids, obviously Vidal's very strong, but the guy next to him, not too good on that front either. He's got a moustache and a hell, hasn't he? Look at that. Look at that for a moustache. So yeah, you've just got to take a look at the team and just go with the formation that you're comfortable here. 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, whatever it may be. There's not really anything that's too, not going to work against it. They're all pretty solid. So to start off, we're going to be taking a look at it. Literally, we're 1 minute into the game now. Is that you're currently controlling Del Piero, and you can see that Bale's making that run in behind. He's trying to get behind the back line. Obviously, you've got your left mid there, and then you've also got your left back. You carry on running with the Del Piero, which if the right back was up here, that's okay. You can put pressure on him, but at this point, you need to be concerned with this run. You can let the right back have the ball here with no pressure. Essentially, it's not so much of a big deal. What you need to be doing is switching with the right stick and flicking it to the right, and that'll get you straight onto Neymar and tracking that run with Neymar. If you track the run with Neymar and it doesn't work, say Neymar's too far behind, you then switch to your left back and come across and cover it as well. But can you see how we leave it too late? It just plays the ball in behind for Bale to get forward. Good defending there though. You were quite calm with Zambretta, so that was good stuff on there. But yeah, you just needed to switch a little bit quicker. So I'm just quickly going to interrupt your time just to say there are a lot of you guys that are watching these videos that aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you are enjoying them, please do hit that subscribe button. It does massively help us and support us with our YouTube. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here and assume that you haven't tried to shoot this and you've tried to do a fake shot. I'm not 100% sure, but if you have tried to shoot, I don't really understand why. You've got a runner coming in behind with Salah. I'll be looking at obviously using that runner. How could you do that? You could take a little touch and just head up that way ever so slightly and then play the runner into there. You could always bait that run because that's obviously what most people are going to see. At the minute, the opponent's eyes is going to be onto here and obviously onto your Kevin De Bruyne. That's what he'll be seeing. If you have a little bit more composure here, you can, as I said, you can use a Salah run if you want, but if not, you can drag back down this way, and by that point, Del Piero will be there. You can lay it off to Del Piero, who then's got a free shot at goal. Just need you to be a little bit more composed in this sort of situation. Again, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that you've tried to do a fake shot and it's just not registered and he's hit the ball. So this next point is just all to do with pass selection and knowing your passes that you've got on. You defend it well with Zambretta. In here, you've just picked up the ball. You've just won the ball back. You don't want to give the opponent the ball back straight away. You play a triangle pass upwards, which for that, all you've done is basically just gone, oh, do you want to come forward and take this ball off me? Like, you put it into a 50-50 because he's going to play it into that point. If you just play an X pass or A on Xbox and just pass it straight into your man in the middle, that pass is fine. You've just literally lingered it around there. So now you've given the 50-50, boom, lose the ball. Okay, so from where we've lost the ball, the opponent creates a real good chance. You, to be honest with you, mess up quite a lot here. just by, I understand what you're trying to do. You are trying to be really, really patient, but we just try to predict a little bit too much, I think. Just watch the little movement with Van Dijk. And then he gets a shot off. I'm trying to work out there if you're holding L2. I think you are, and I don't think you're holding sprint, which in a way is quite right. However, this is where I'd be looking at, you've got to take an eye on the opponent, right? So this is Griezmann. If Griezmann wants to stay down here, it's on his right foot, you can kind of let him have that. I wouldn't back Griezmann with a 3-star weak foot. I would not back Griezmann to put that ball in the back of the net a lot of the times. You know, sometimes 4-star weak foot's not even good enough to do that. So what you've tried to do is go, oh, you're going to go down that way, because near post is obviously the strong thing. However, he's got Bale, he's got Vidal, and it's Griezmann on his left foot. Literally 9 times out of 10, he's going to go up that way. If you step up this way and he goes that way, I'll just kind of say to you, you were in the right frame of mind there. You weren't really doing anything wrong. You know, that's kind of the right decision. But obviously, because we kind of come down that way, it just gives him the free shot. And to be honest, let's have a look and see what he could have done differently there for that shot selection, just to kind of get an idea. If I was him, I'd just be looking at playing that pass across to Vidal. But if he's going to take the shot, I'd probably power it far post. I think he's finessed it near post or finesse it far post, but definitely not what he chose to do. So we're going to work the ball down to the right-hand side now with Zanetti. You're a bit unlucky with the dribbling. I like the little attempts of going backwards, going forward. You know, you're constantly trying to juke the defender there. So losing the ball wasn't so much of the be-all and end-all. You know, you're trying to find a little space, so that's okay. How could you have found the space a little bit more, a little bit easier? With Zanetti, because obviously he's got quite a bit of strength, you could be looking at holding L2 here just to shield the ball a little bit, or you could be using L1 just to do a bit of a closer dribbling. You could even do L1 and R1 if you're feeling, you know, a bit out of the ordinary. However, it's this here that I don't like. Again, similar to the first thing that we spoke about, you've got to see the space coming in behind. It's a killer area on the pitch, right? Because this is going to transition from defence to attack. That is a perfect ball for him to play. We don't switch to the Salah to cover this. And we just carry on letting him go. You can't trust Salah to do that. You do manage to come over with Van Dijk. We jump in ever so slightly. Ferdinand does win the ball back, but then we turn back into him. Griezmann here creates a good little chance. Comes back in, lays it across. Hazard, straight to De Gea, falls back to you. Now, what did we do in this situation here? What do you think? Just have a look at your defending with Ferdinand. You know how in the last defending situation where we kind of looked at, we said about how, you know, you kind of stood up well, but you predicted a little bit, but not too bad. That's over-predicting. Here, let's just get there again. If we just stand up tall, hold L2, and just freeze and wait in this area, literally, you can just hold L2 and you can still hold the analog stick, but you don't need to like predict here because, right, if you predict that he goes that way, or you predict that he goes that way and he goes the other way, you've given up too much space. If you go this way and he goes here, you know, he's got a free shot at goal. If he goes that way, which he does, and you go that way, like you do, he's then got this space to work into and then look for the pass back across, which is crucial for me. I score a lot of my goals this year by coming down to here and coming back across there and then getting the shot off. So, hold L2 in this situation and just literally freeze in that area. Don't make much movements with Cannavaro. Just freeze. Because then you've just given up that space. He looks for the cut back across. I think he's unfortunate not to fall in the back of the net. I mean, I think he's powered it. I probably would have finessed it if I was him. Okay, so now it's our turn to work the ball forward and get into the box and try and do something with it. So you pick the ball up with Salah, just doing a couple of drag backs, just holding the ball nicely. You play a pass into Del Piero. You then lay it off to De Bruyne is what your attempt is here. What I can't really work out, if I'm honest, is if this is just a terrible pass from Del Piero, or if it's you on the analog, or if you've tried triangle again. It looks like a triangle pass because he's played it so far in front of him. Del Piero wouldn't make an X pass that bad. I mean, it might go a bit behind him. It might go a bit in front of him, but that's going that way. If it was a bad pass, it would kind of just, you know, linger in front of him ever so slightly. Just have a little more think about it next time. If you have tried triangle there, then yeah, we've completely messed up. That, you know, that's your own fault. If it's an X pass and it's just a bad pass from Del Piero, bit unlucky. You could almost take another touch though and then play the pass into De Bruyne, but that's been a little bit more, you know, precise. So again, I'm not going to dive into this one too much because I don't want to repeat myself that often for you, but we just can't be doing this sort of stuff in the middle of the park. I know this is division rivals game, so I don't know how serious you take it, but you can't be doing that at all. What that's then led to is David Villa getting in behind and you going 1-0 down from it, just because we've been lazy and we've just gave the ball straight back to the opponent. Please, please, please treat the ball in, for me, in this area, treat the ball like it's your baby. You do not want to give it away in here. If you give the ball away in the 18-yard box, like we just did with Del Piero into Kevin De Bruyne, I don't, have a go at you so much for it, because at the end of the day, you're trying to play quick attacking football. You want to be able to get, a shot off. That's what we're kind of looking for. So sometimes, I won't go into you too much when you're inside the box. However, this sort of area on the pitch, we cannot do it. The ball roll wasn't needed in itself, and then it's just played a pass down into Cannavaro when you've got, he's marking him with that man. You can't be doing it. Here, carry on running and then play the pass down to the left back and then work yourself down to the left-hand line. We don't need to give the ball away. However, that's not the be-all and end-all. What happens here, right? I'm going to tell you it again. Stop predicting where people are going in defence. It's a very risky move. When you get it wrong, like you have, you've given him that. What you should be thinking here is, right, David Villa's got decent pace, but he's not like lightning quick. If you can stick with him here, with Van Dijk, stay in this radius, he has to carry on coming down here, and then it's up to him to try and beat you with a seal move in and around this area. Van Dijk is a quality defender. If you even get a little bit of a shrug on that shoulder, you're going to win the ball back. If you just carry on running, stand up tall, you don't need to do anything else. You don't concede there. But because we've tried to predict, we've overshot, boom, 1-0 down. So to look at something else for you here, it's a very common thing that people do. Overshooting with their right back drastically. Right back and left back, people do it all the time. Because you almost switch to your right back and left back more than your centre backs, just because of where they are in the pitch and how they get involved. People try to commit to the ball holder a lot of the times, and then they don't realise that it's just a simple 1-2, and that can get them 1-2, boom. They can just get them in. So, just basically, I've touched on this in loads of coaching sessions. Here, you've got one of two choices. You can essentially just stand your ground, hold L2, whatever. If he wants to try and take you on, you're there to try and see him through. If he wants to play the pass in and make the pass again for the 1-2, you can track the run. If you make that commitment, you've got to be 100% sure that you are going to get there. That sort of situation where we were, Hazard received it, you're still quite a few yards away from him, he's already playing that passing animation, which means it's going to him. If he takes a touch there, you can close him down and get the tackle in, but obviously because he's played it straight away, you've then overcommitted. Again, it doesn't get to us conceding a goal, but still it's overcommitting, which is what I'm realising so far that we're doing in defence. So from this, we are going to win the ball with Mateus. Good little tackle. You're then going to take a run with Sissoko, which, to be honest, isn't so bad. Sissoko's strong, got a bit of pace, can make those sort of runs. Probably not out on the wing, but definitely decent through the middle. You work it lovely into Salah, and then we play a nice little pass into De Bruyne. We've shot with the left foot. And I probably understand why you've done it, because it's De Bruyne's weak foot and he's got a beauty of a left foot. However, the shot selection is completely wrong. If you want to shoot here, take a touch and then go for the finesse. If you take a touch, you could possibly then go for an outside of the boot far post finish. However, you've got to take a touch here. There's no need to hit that first time. You've got plenty of time to take a touch. You can even look for the little pass back into Salah if you want to be really composed. However, if I was in this area with De Bruyne, I'd probably be taking a shot as well myself. So just take a touch there. And the shot selection is completely wrong. If you're hitting that first time, we shouldn't be powering it. But either way, take a touch in that sort of situation. Be a little bit more composed. At the minute, we've got into the final third a couple of times, and we're just, we're not having that clinical sort of edge in front of goal. So we're now, again, back in the opponent's half. Absolutely love the little drag back. What I'm finding is that we just click and shoot. We're just basically click and shoot in situations where we shouldn't be. Let's take a look at the drag back, though, because one of the things you had said is skill moves on the wing. This is a lovely little drag back. You've worked it really, really well here with De Bruyne. Nice little pass. You've realised that we haven't really got much on in this situation, so you want to try and juke him, which you do. Lovely drag back. Really, really happy with it. Nice pass in. What I'd be looking at doing there, I think you're a bit unfortunate to, get clattered by Varane. I don't know how that shot's even hit the post. What I'd be looking at doing here, though, is when you play this into De Bruyne, is like a first-time fake shot. Sorry, I always say that. I'm thinking Xbox. Square plus X. You can probably do it in that direction or that direction. That direction may be better, but just try something there with a little bit more flair, because if you try that fake shot and he overcommits, he gives away a pen. If he overcommits and doesn't give away a pen, he's giving you the space to get a good chance, a good shot on goal. Just wanted to touch on this for you here very quickly. Very good defending. The actual Berber spin there isn't a real good skill move. The Berber spin's good inside the box, this sort of situation. It's quite readable, but I just like it. You don't panic, just step up, win the ball back with Zambrotta. Nice. So from that, we're going to get forward with Salah. Nice little ball through to him. Dukes the defender, he overcommits. Here, this is what I mean with, so you've said about how just overall getting from transitioning from defence into attack. We've done quite a quick attack here coming from this. You've got to do something here to beat this defender. For me, it's like a first-time fake shot in this direction. If you can do that, you possibly beat the man there. Just, again, it's adding that little bit of flair. Don't do it every time, but if you can do a first-time fake shot there, you might beat him, especially at the level that you are at the minute in Gold 3, Division 5. I can guarantee you'll get past a lot of defenders like that. So at half-time, obviously 1-0 down. We have had a lot of the ball, which I like, 59% possession. We've had 10 shots, 5 on target, 92% pass accuracy. There's the pass accuracy I'm happy with, because we always aim for 90% minimum. Possession is very subjective. It's your choice. I like to aim for 60% as a general rule, though, but obviously, you know, we're fine on this game. We've had 10 shots, 5 on target. Now, what we've already established is that we are just kind of click and shoot and hoping for the best. The shot selection hasn't been the greatest at the minute. So we will take a look in the second half to see if you do anything better to get a couple more chances or even a goal or two. I believe you were playing at 4-4-2 at the start of the game, but we've now switched to 4-4-1-1, or we're playing it from the start. Either way, the guy is playing the 4-4-2, so the 4-4-1-1 works anyway, because for me, the 4-4-2, the way I play it, is I have one of the strikers on false 9. So to run the 4-4-1-1 is not a problem at all. It's not a bad formation. So there is one thing I want to touch on here, just tactically. I would like to know what your width is in defence, or if you switch to overload ball side at any point in this game, because I just want to know why. There's your centre back, there's your centre back, there's your right back. What is up with this space? You either want to overload ball side, or your width in your defence is really, really, really low. If you can tell me of those custom tactics, I will ask you before I send this over anyway. They're really, I mean, just look at that. I mean, you're rocking 4-4-1-1. In what way does that look like a 4-4-1-1 at the minute? Like, it doesn't, does it? Like, I mean, obviously we've just overcommitted with a centre back, but I mean, you got your CM there, right mid, your left mid, which has just come from an attack, and then your other strikers up here, centre forward, striker. But it just seems really, really narrow. So I just thought I'd point that out. I wouldn't have it that narrow, because for me, if I was the opponent here, I'd just be looking at pinging this over into the middle, working my way down the left-hand side, and watching all of your team panic to get back over to the right. Overcommitting there with Mateus again. Stand up tall. Okay, so we overcommit with this Mateus. Can you see what I mean? And then the defending here in the middle, that bit with Baggio wasn't so much an issue, but it's the defending with Van Dijk that really lets you down. Have a look at the Mateus overshoot. Again, all he's done is said 1, 2, send me. You can't keep overcommitting like this. Let's just completely cut that out when we can. Once he plays this pass into Griezmann and he's facing that way, there is absolutely only one way that he's going to look to do. He's going to look to get on that left foot. Again, think about game knowledge. 3-star weak foot. You can give him that space if you really wanted to, but you just cannot give him this space here. Again, you overshoot, overcommit. It's a lovely little finish, and now we're 2-0 down. So now we've gone 2-0 down in the 51st minute. I'll be looking at changing something, whether that's formation, your tactics, if you want to switch to something else, bringing a player on as a sub, whatever you want to do, but something needs to change, because clearly we've had a lot of shots in this game, but we're not actually doing anything with it. Pen ref, there we go. All right, let's make sure we get this pen, eh? Worked it up quite nicely, though. Fair enough. 2-1. Yeah, so I do just want to touch on this again, because can you see what I mean by I said about how the width is so narrow? Like, all of your team is here across this line. That is very, very, very narrow in terms of when the ball's over here. Naturally, your team will shift over, but not normally that much. That is quite a lot. So watch what happens here. The opponent, again, as I said, I would be seeing this space and I would be doing my best to work this into the middle and then swinging it over to this right-hand side. And that's what the opponent is going to do. He does it very gradually. Brings the ball over into the middle, works it over to the right-hand side with just a pass directly into Kante, who then sees his right back and right winger, Semedo and Bale. Works it in nicely. Again, we kind of overcommit, but then get the tackle in. But I just wanted to show you there so that we just need to try and work out why it is that your team's doing that. So again, we're getting into absolute killer areas. I really like, just the way we're getting into them. That pass there was a little bit risky. You got away with it. Here, again, the shot choice is completely wrong. If you are going to shoot there, it's a finesse. As a general rule of thumb, outside the box, finesse it. I know you're pretty much borderline, but finesse it, right? However, I wouldn't have took the shot there. You've done the hard work by playing the ball into Salah, the little back heel, and then 1-2 here, right? You've said about just finishing as a whole. If you take the shot, he's got two defenders that have got a good chance of blocking this. I feel like you need a more clear line of sight. Come forward a little bit and ball roll upwards. You've said skill moves on the wing, but at the minute, I think we're missing skill moves just in this crucial area of the box. We do a little ball roll upwards. That might just duke that defender. He tackles in, and then boom, you can go for that near post. Instead, we shoot. Easy block. Okay, so you're a little bit unfortunate here. The guy plays a very optimistic over-the-top through ball. Obviously, wrong side with Zanetti. Hazard comes through. You do make the tackle. I think you're really unfortunate here. I honestly think Zanetti should be making a better tackle than that. I don't really think you've stepped too much out of line. The ball does get shown to you via that big touch. Little bit unfortunate. Could you say, should you be making a tackle in that sort of area? Could we switch to one of the centre-backs and come across and cover? Quite possibly. Probably didn't need to give it away, but I think on the overall, it is a bit of a poor tackle from Zanetti. Not really anything that you did differently. As I said, you could switch to the centre-back and just come over and cover there. And that's going to make it 3-2, so we need to be making a change, ideally. I haven't touched on every point when we've done this, because I feel like it would just really annoy you, but we have done that so much in this game. Just when there's a defender sitting in front of your attacker and we've still tried the pass, I just need you to be really, really careful with this ball now. When you next play division rivals, I want you to just practice. Don't care about the scoreline, but just really think about these passes. Just practice keeping the ball in the attacking areas, finding the right men, and stop giving the ball away like this. One thing I will say is that on corners, I personally wouldn't go to whip it in like that. A lot of the times I think it's better to go short and then make your way into the box, play the pass into the man on the edge of the box, whatever you want to do. If you are going to whip it in, I still find that on the odd occasion, going at the near post and just wicking it in there, kind of full power essentially, and then just hoping that someone can get the head on it. But really, I think going short, making the run into the box that way, trying to do a ball roll either way, a skill move, whatever you want to do if you come up into that area. If you don't go up into that area, there's always someone on the edge of the box that you can play a pass into, and then you might have a pass over there or a pass in the box, and then you can do a first time fake shot, whatever. But I feel like crossing it probably isn't the wisest choice for you a lot of the times. So we are going to get a goal here and make it 3-2 to try and get ourselves back into the game. Just working it up nicely with Sissoko. Get a little bit lucky with that there with Neymar. However, we get into that area. That drag back is beautiful and the finish is beautiful as well. Have you noticed that when you've added a little bit of flair in, again, given the division that we're in, it's beaten the defender really easily. And you've managed to get an absolute beauty of a finish out. So good stuff there. Okay, so you're going to grab an equaliser here. Play the ball into Baggio. You then wait for the supporting runs to Sissoko, which was real good. Again, we've took an absolute audacious shot from long range. You work this really nicely. You see that he's moved this over and this pass is a little bit risky. So you wait for Sissoko to make this supporting run, which is good stuff indeed. However, here in this game, you are 90th minute. This is your last chance to grab an equaliser. Sissoko is not the best striker of the ball. You cannot be hitting this. You have to be playing this pass over to here. I say this to a lot of my students. When you get into a situation where you would normally shoot, always have that millisecond decision. I mean, it's literally got to be rapid. Have a quick scan of the pitch. Is there anything else on for you? That is absolutely calling out for you there. He commits up to there, you play the pass in, you walk along to there, Del Piero might be on for the sweat, or you can even just finish it far post, near post. You get really lucky with that chance because obviously keeper saves it. It's a poor save from the keeper. Play the pass back in, and Del Piero pops it into the back of the net. So overall, 3-3 finished, 88% pass accuracy, 16 shots, 11 on target, 57% possession, 6 tackles. So possession, I'm all right with. Again, pass accuracy, that's something that we really do need to work on. We need to stop giving the ball away as cheaply as we have. And also, although you might think I've dominated this game, look at my shots on target, you never really created anything that made it go, this should be a goal here. You just kept shooting. A lot of your shots came from on the edge of the box. You weren't really ever, getting into those clinical positions. So you said about skill moves on the wing. You have got a few skill moves in your locker in terms of the drag back. You do that in good situations. So keep that in. What I would like to see adding in is a couple of ball rolls. And I say it a lot, but first time fake shots can be absolutely crucial when they play the pass directly into the striker. Defending counter-attacks, it was not really so much there as an issue in that game. You weren't really counted on a massive amount. However, when you did dive in. I did show you exactly what you were doing wrong in those situations. And then finishing, we've already gone over for you. Just when you take the shot, please just have a quick scan of the players around you. If there's another pass on, try and play the extra pass when you can. Transitioning from between defence to attack for yourself. We do that quite well. You get up the pitch quite quick. I don't think there's too much of an issue there for yourself. And we've kind of gone over the tactics for you as well. But I will DM you and we will go over your tactics in a bit more in depth because I want to know why your players were switching over so much, basically. So then, boys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like. Put your thoughts down below in the comment section. And I will catch all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.